Biggest thing that makes you a very good soldier. Now, ladies, I don't know, do we have any military women on here? You're allowed to put yourself on the line too. Put your life on the line too. But when you're this age, you think you're going to live forever and nothing bad is going to happen to you. Plus, it's 163 years ago. It's boring living. You're only going to live to be to the mid 40s, early 50s. The United States is pretty well spread out. For the most part, you're born, raised, lived, died, and buried within 10 to 15 miles of your home. It's like when the internet goes down, right? It's just boring. Plus, it pays $11 to $13 a month, and poverty is big in this country. That's a lot of money for a young kid to be making early in his life. Average age of the soldiers, again, 18 to 27. Average education is 5th grade level. Look at some of the women are going, some of them are still stuck at 5th grade level. We'll get over that. But how do you move them around? You use things that they know: roads, hills, ridges, streams, railroad tracks. So take a look. William's taking us up one of the hills in Gettysburg that's going to become very important. This hill has a town cemetery on it. We call it Cemetery Hill. Pennsylvania Dutch who live here do not believe in wasting oxygen or using creative writing. Cemetery on the hill, Cemetery Hill. When I say now, I want you to look out the right side of the bus. So how about now? Look out the right side and look behind you. You'll see a second hill owned by Henry Culp. That is Culp's Hill. Hills are tactically important. That's why you see cannon and monuments on this hill. It takes 3 soldiers not on a hill to take one off. The 2 hills are marked today by a wonderful modern landmark. This blue water tower. It's to the right front of the bus. And since Naval College, if you can see the blue water tower, say ahoy. Excellent. We hopefully will see that again as we go through town. Now, only one civilian will die during the Battle of Gettysburg. Her name is Mary Virginia Wade. Jenny Wade. She's killed in the red brick house on the right side at the end of the parking lot, baking bread in the home when an air bullet enters the home, goes through 2 oak doors, hits her in the back under her left shoulder blade, pierces her heart, and she dies instantly. Now, folks, I'm a professional nurse anesthetist. I hate to break this to you, but every time I say that, I always think to myself, in reality, are we not all going to die instantly? I guess. Maybe I should say suddenly. But anyhow, the only civilian to die during the battle. Why is the Battle of Gettysburg fought here? It has nothing to do with shoes, but everything to do with the network of 10 roads. The purpose of combat is to impose your will on the enemy. You do it with a preponderance of guns and men, and to do that you need places where you can concentrate them. Now, this is the 1863 is when this battle occurs. And the soldiers are mostly walking, and their supplies are being pulled by horse-drawn and mule-drawn wagons. So moving is very slow, and you don't want to have your armies in a single-file line. So when you want to fight, you have to find places where concentration of roads, and that is Gettysburg. 5 roads enter from the south, 5 roads enter from the north. Now, as we head into the town of Gettysburg here, I need you to look to the left. You'll see some outdoor tables. They've got big red umbrellas up. When you see the outdoor tables, look beyond it. There's a red brick house right beyond it, kind of tucked back in behind those ugly firs. Look at the wall facing you, folks. 163 bullet holes in that wall. Every one of those white dots is a bullet hole that hit this building. They painted it for us 2 years ago. So this is the Farnsworth house. So let's just say if you're living in Gettysburg, you are in the battlefield. Being upstairs is probably not safe, so you're going to be down in the basement. So take a look at the sidewalk. You'll see tiny little windows. That's where most of the civilians will be. The 10 roads that make Gettysburg a hotbed place at the time of the battle. It is the county seat. You'll see the Adams County Courthouse. It'll be at the second light to your left. They're going to fix the clock tower next year. Adams County Courthouse, they make wagons, they tan leather goods. 2,700 citizens that live here are having a pretty good time. Of those 2,700 citizens, we have 200 African Americans that live in Gettysburg. They are free men. They have their paper. They're not indentured people. They're going to leave town when the Confederates get close. They do not want to be captured and put into captivity again. Parents that have young men of fighting age, guess they're going to grandma's house. They don't want them around either. They don't want them to be confused or accidentally shot or killed. So all that's left in this town are old men, women, and children. And that's where we get some of our best stories. And why are they staying here? The same reason you stay at your places when bad weather's coming, to protect your home. Take a look, the Adams County Courthouse is on the left front. You can see the clock tower in it. In front is our recent bronze statue. Thaddeus Stevens, the abolitionist, he runs a iron mill 30 miles west of Gettysburg, where he employs 43 African Americans. He has papers for them, but he is a wonderful person helping slaves escape to freedom. And how does he do it? Well, he keeps the same 40 papers and just lets their faces change as he brings them through to get them out. Gettysburg makes wagon tans, leather goods. Now, though, the 10 roads that reach out in all directions of the compass like a bad summer storm are bringing these two competing armies together in town. The Confederate Army will be commanded by a 56-year-old general from Virginia. His name is Robert Edward Lee. He has 73,000 soldiers and 270 cannon. The Union will have 90,000 soldiers. Their general will be a 47-year-old general from Philadelphia, George Gordon Meade, with 90,000 soldiers, which is the 10th largest city in the United States at that time. Lee and Meade both have commanders in tents. They're almost the same. The Confederate Army, 2 years into the Civil War, is when Gettysburg will occur. The South is losing. And while Gettysburg is going on, 1,000 miles west of here, a Union general named Ulysses S. Grant is laying siege to Vicksburg. The South knows when Vicksburg falls, they're going to be cut in half. Now Lee's bringing 73,000 gray-clad Confederate troops and 270 cannon to Gettysburg. His objective is to get a political knockout. The South knows the only way they'll win this Civil War, gain their independence, is if Lincoln agrees to lose. Lee's commander's intent, 73,000 Confederates, is to threaten Washington City. It's not called Washington, D.C. yet. It's called Washington City. The Union Lee's been in command for 13 months, and the Army he'll face at Gettysburg, he's defeated 8 times already. The Union Army is commanded by a 47-year-old general from Philadelphia, George Gordon Meade, takes command on June 28, 1863, meaning he'll be in command for only 3 days when the Battle of Gettysburg comes. We're going to go to the right and go out straight the other end. Got it, William? Yeah. All right. I don't care who you are, George Gordon Meade is going to have a very bad first week of work here in the late June and early July of 1863. Just like Lee, Meade's commander's intent from the Lincoln government is quite simple: protect Washington City. So we don't have a lot of things happening here. Both generals know that in order to win battles, to win in combat, you have to concentrate your troops. Both generals know that Gettysburg has 10 roads that come together in the town center. And we are now in the town center. Back then it was called the Diamond, but it's square, and you go around in a circle. So pick whatever geographical shape works for you. But we're going to enter the circle here. Luckily, William has the bigger thing. Usually cars will let you go through, but we'll have to see here. As we enter the circle, you look to the right, you will see a big red brick house that has a half-moon roof on top of it. This is the home of Gettysburg. It's right here to the right, with the half-moon roof on top. This is the home of Gettysburg attorney David Wills. This is where Abraham Lincoln will stay the night before he delivers his immortal Gettysburg Address. Now, he'll deliver that address. Yeah, we're going to go out that way. Yeah. He'll deliver that address 4 months and 2 weeks after, November 19th, 1863. When he arrives at Gettysburg, he'll come by train. The train station Lincoln uses is the train station on the right here. This is the train station that Lincoln will use. We have it on pretty good authority. He does not eat at the Lincoln Diner across the street. And apparently there's too many booths in there. All right. He told me to cut my jokes down, so I'm trying to keep them down here. And you'll have to forgive me. I tripped over my snare drum this morning, so I think I have a percussion. All right. Oh, no dad jokes. Look, we have two colleges in Gettysburg time in the battle. We're now on one of them. This is Gettysburg College today. At the time of the battle, it was called Pennsylvania College. Pennsylvania College only had 3 buildings at the time of the battle. Gettysburg College today has like 86 or 89 buildings. Every house and college building, church, barn, and house will eventually become some sort of hospital medical facility. The books in the colleges and churches will be used as pillows to splint broken wound injuries and alarms. We still have some of those books. Of course, they are welded shut with the blood and sweat of the soldiers wounded during the fight here at Gettysburg. We're going to make a left turn where that red car is going back. Please. So we were able to get one of them open at one of the hymnals at St. James Church, and there we had found a soldier. We don't know whether Union or Confederate had written the exact same word 21 times in pencil. You want to guess what the word is? Mother. And the word is mother. So we're going to make a left turn here, folks. I showed you already on the battlefield, but when we make the left turn, we're on the restored battlefield. Now, if you see that big field in front of the bus, which will eventually be on the right side of the bus, that used to be a big car dealership here. It was purchased and then restored and deeded over to the National Park Service, so it'll be here when our great-great-grandkids come back. You're also seeing the beginning of our monument collection. We have 1,300 monuments on the battlefield. The majority of the monuments are to Union, Abraham Lincoln's Union Army, the Yankees, 90,000 strong, 370 cannon, but they're to Union regiments. Soldiers fight in 3 military wings. By far the majority are infantry soldiers. They carry a rifle, march on the field. The rifle is very sophisticated, loaded from the top. It takes 9 steps to load that. You have to do it in the correct order or the thing will not fire. We have artillery, cannon. We'll visit the cannon up close. And then of course we have cavalry men that ride horses. But the majority of the monuments, like the one on the left side of the bus, is to a Union infantry regiment. Regiments in the Civil War are 300 to 600 men. These soldiers, 5th grade level, right turn here, please. Soldiers, 5th grade level. Let's just say the training's terrible because they give these farmers and day laborers guns. They show them the 9 steps. They let them practice the 9 steps, but they're not allowed to fire and practice with live ammunition until 1864. So if you look to the right at that field, you can imagine soldiers moving back and forth, and when the commander goes ready, aim, fire, they all go bang. So let's just say the training's not that good. So the soldiers are in groups of 300 to 600 men. They put them in a double line. That's not enough firepower. So they hook regiments together to make a thing called a brigade. So if you think of a regiment as an apple and a brigade as a bag of apples, you know exactly how we are lined up. Now take a look as William takes us up the hill here. You're going to see a ridge in front of us. It's attached to the hill on the right. The hill on the right was covered with oak trees in 1863. So what do you think the name of the hill is? Look, you're already speaking Pennsylvania Dutch in one easy lesson. Oak Hill. You can hide behind a ridge. You can resupply behind the ridge. You can put hospitals behind the ridge. But the biggest thing that gives a ridge its power, aside from the fact that it's hard to run up it when people are shooting at you, is the ability to punch up over the ridge and surprise the enemy. Watch what happens as William takes us over this ridge here. You're now on the first day's battlefield here at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Take a look. I need to take a look and see. Very good. So this is the first day. Now again, what do you see on the battlefield? The fence on the left is a recreated fence. It's a very temporary fence. We're going to make a right turn down here, William. Very temporary fence. It's called a Virginia worm fence or snake rail fence. That fence keeps cattle out of crops that are growing until we're ready to harvest. We have permanent fences, more permanent fences. We have stone fences made by the farmers, not by the soldiers. So we have stone fences. That's what, when your very expensive metal plow strikes something, you put take the stones out, put them on the property line, and then we have post and rail, post and plank fences. Fences break up that brigade line of 1,000 men, and fences play into the story of Gettysburg, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Bus parking down the right side, William. Furthest bus parking spot you can on the right would be good. The monument on your left is the Eternal Light Peace Memorial, dedicated in 1938. Piece of Alabama limestone on Maine granite. On top is an eternal flame. Well, that flame went out about 4 years ago. So it's a semi-eternal flame, I guess. All right, we're going to get out of the bus and take a look here and see what we got.